Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. We're going to do some technical analysis of gold and silver. I am a big gold and silver bull, especially in the physical format, that it's including platinum. Any physical metal, I really do like it. I don't know what it is. It's almost a representation of freedom. When you start collecting these things and getting it in your hands, it's like, yeah, this is the real stuff, baby. I like doing the gold and silver update. I do think gold and silver is going to do very well. I'm still remaining positive on the sector. We are seeing some positive signs of life. I will show you what those lives look like in the charts. It doesn't mean that we're done bottoming, but I'm seeing some signs. I'm looking for contraction in a descending wedge pattern. That's kind of what I've been noticing on a lot of the charts, and obviously we're going to go over them. Again, I'm going to cover dollar 10-year yield and ETFs, gold contracts, and individual companies to see what we can find in the charts. And it's good to see all of these things in one shot because it tells us an overall picture. The dollar, usually you'll see a weaker dollar. I'm seeing a strengthening dollar, which is a little bit weird. And we have seen the gold go down, but the gold mining companies, they're not necessarily following, and they're definitely not leveraged to the downside. It's almost like they're decoupling, waiting for a move to go higher. So let's jump into the charts. This is just my financial opinion. That's all it is. Do not take it as advice, please. And here we go. Gold and silver. So we're looking at the dollar and gold. Dollar higher, gold lower. And I think this is the initial knee-jerk reaction to the market selling off from higher interest rates. And I think everything's going to kind of sell off because that's what happens when we have a lot of leverage in the system. And I've said on the channel before, I don't know exactly what this is going to look like when the market sells off and how the commodity sector is going to basically decouple itself from the overall sector. And I think we're going to have a strong correlation in the beginning. Once the margin kind of gets reduced, I think we're going to see the market continue to go down, precious metals and commodities go up, and we're going to see them decouple. And it's going to take some time. I think the dollar in the meantime is going to get strong or stronger. Here's the dollar, looking at it. I'm going to throw in some trend lines here just to throw a couple in, but I'm looking at this pattern here, and you could draw it like this. Let me see if I can rip it through here, kind of like that. And you could say it looks something like this, and that we haven't broken out. Well, 93.75, we are up. We just broke out to the upside today. We're peeking out a little bit. Let's see if this has some room to run higher, because we're just peeking out above this at 93.75 right here, because this is delayed one day, this chart is. So we are breaking to the upside for the dollar, and we could run a little bit. The 10-year is running higher as well. It's almost like someone's trying to hold this down. It's like a whole bunch of people are selling bonds, and they're kind of losing control of it. But 10-year going higher, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the stock market overall. And what I'm seeing in gold is we've got this kind of descending little wedge here. I'm trying to see if this is a descending wedge. We got a lot of contact points in the front of the wedge, not so much in the back. And I'm just trying to find any points here where we could potentially break and move higher. But that's what I'm looking at right now. Looking at silver, I'm trying to find if there's any type of a wedge formation occurring. It looks like we're trying to put in some support here. We've got wicks on the bottom. Buyers are buying it back up throughout the day and pushing it back up. Momentum's to the upside. It looks like we're trying to find our footing here. Platinum, a little bit of a sell-off today. We've got the downtrend line below it because we popped higher, a little bit of a leak off of sellers. We want to get support here soon and then move on up. if it's going to move higher. And I'm trying to look at this from a perspective of a declining wedge. And I'm not doing it because I want to. I'm just trying to connect these points here, which then we're at support here. And then we've got another wedge type pattern forming here. So we'll see what happens. If we break to the downside, we're going to see more downside if it breaks, or if we're going to pop higher here. Zooming in on the edge here, that's what it looks like zooming in. We just have this sell-off right here, and I'm not seeing large candlestick down days. It's almost like it gets pushed lower and then gets bought up a little bit, like someone's trying to push it lower, scare people, and then buy it back up. We're seeing the volume come in a little bit. But that's what GDX looks like. We got SILJ, and it looks like it could be doing another descending wedge type pattern, and all we have to do is break to the upside. Easier said than done. But that's the wedge formation that I'm trying to kind of figure out. If you zoom in on it, here's your wedge kind of coming to a point. We've got big buying pressure, small little down days all through here. Not a lot of selling pressure. It's almost like we're trying to find a bottom. Same thing at EXK. We got these little down days and little up days sprinkled. Not a lot of selling pressure. Usually that means we were trying to turn around. Hecla Mining's already turning around with a bullish engulfing here and another bullish engulfing. This is probably going to head higher. Small down days all throughout. I mean, this looks like a bottoming process to me that wants to move up. It needs silver to, I'm sure, to follow with it. Mag Silver's got the same thing. It's got looks like a bottoming process where it wants to go higher. We've got big buying pressure and smaller selling pressure over here. That's usually an indication of a reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend. Tooten Resources holding its own up a little bit, even though gold was down on some good volume. I mean, we're getting signs here. Franco-Nevada is putting in a bullish hammer pattern to move on up. It's usually a reversal candlestick to move higher, like the end of a downtrend. EMX Royalty, I mean, we popped higher, good buying pressure, and then the slow leak off of sellers. Good buying pressure here, slow leak off of sellers. It looks like we're trying to put in a bottom. EMX, looking at it from a longer term perspective, there's your bottoming type formation pattern. And I think we could break to the upside at any point. We just need gold to get its act together. Gold and silver, like, what are they doing? These guys look like they're ready to go. They're primed to go. Come on, gold and silver. I mean, here's Newmont. Newmont's putting in a bullish engulfing pattern. That's a pattern to go higher. This little candlestick right here. And it looks like we're slowing down the momentum and trying to reverse. We're coming to some support. And we got Barrick Gold putting in a bullish engulfing hammer pattern, which is usually wants to go up. This is a bullish engulfing here. We're throwing the patterns here. I mean, they're showing up. Gold, get your act together. Come on, guys. Who's selling this off? Okay, I know who, but the charts look good on. They don't look good. They look like they're trying to put in bottoms. We are still in downtrends, and I have to like this sector, guys. I really do. I know where we are on the gold to monetary base ratio. We are way down in no man's land, and I know that we are also in an expansion phase of real estate. We're just in the beginning. We just need it to progress a little bit further along. And I think after it progresses along, we're going to see this inflation come through, which we're seeing. And now it's gold's time to get conked in the head and wake up and get moving. I got pretty big stakes in this stuff, and I've been riding down in it. And I'm just like everyone else. I don't like seeing an account get too far down. But I rode this thing up, nice good ride, and ever since August, I've been riding it back down. I did transfer some money, some of my profits, and put into free rides and jumped on the oil and uranium train. But I'm here. I'm waiting. The charts don't look horrible. Would I add in some of these I would. Hecla Mining looks pretty good, HL. That one looks good. Mag Silver looks good. Some of the silver stuff looks pretty good. So we just need to see it break. EMX Royalty doesn't look too bad. I've been adding into Tootin Resources. Some weeks ago, I got in really good prices. I'm pretty happy about that. So let's just hope somebody can kick gold and silver into gear and get it moving. I think inflation will do that. I think higher yields, are good in the long term because it's going to rotate money out of stocks and bonds. And that's going to be big for precious metals. And precious metals is a smaller market than those big markets. So when the money comes flooding in, we're going to go higher, I think. Interest rates are going to go up, and we're going to see higher rates of inflation. And we're going to still have real negative rates. Don't worry about it. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.